one of the biggest things that I think I constantly have changed in my mind is the constant thought of when I have a lot of work to get done, I don't think, oh, how am I gonna get this done? It's who can get it done. And there's a whole book, Who Not How, and I didn't even read it, but I took the title and ran with it because one of the biggest things I've learned through delegation, right? There's who not how. There's Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, which that book I did read, and that really does teach you just the overall principle of delegation and buying back your time. And he really expresses how you can buy back a lot of your time using some sort of executive or virtual assistant. And even when it comes to complicated project that things you're trying to launch, it becomes very stressful, and you typically as the business owner feel like you need to figure it out. When reality is, if you have a decent team player or team players and you present them the project that needs to get done and you give them the ability to use their mind and the details and the thought process and their creativity to actually execute on that project, and then you can give them feedback on it, whether it's good or bad or not right or it needs to go differently, what happens is they become more bought in on that project that you're building on. They take ownership, they take extreme ownership because they are actually the ones that are creating it. And that's a lesson I learned through Jocko Willink book, Extreme Ownership, where when you start to give people higher level tasks that takes a lot of responsibility and actually plays a role, and you tie some type of KPI and objective to it, and you hold them accountable to that standard, they have extreme ownership because that's their thing. That metric is on them, not you. And you need to lead and direct and give them feedback and coach them up on all those things. Going back to the business owner though, understanding that you need to understand that if you have a lot of crap being done, look at the list and go, who can do this for me at the capabilities I know I'm doing it? Or what ends up happening is you get people who are better at doing it than yourself. And you can focus on the more higher priority work, and allows you to constantly focus on developing yourself and your knowledge and finding what's next and executing on the plan, forecasting, and being, as Patrick Bet-David says, 5 moves ahead. And even for an example, what's going on right now in my nutrition company. So Nutrition X, it's a remote nutrition company that we're going to be launching. And with that, we need the branding and all the graphic design done, right? I am not the person to do that, so I immediately hire it out and find an expert who's 10 times better than me, and I'm having to do it, having them do that. Now that's pretty standard. Most people will delegate that stuff. But the next thing is the actual fulfillment, and when we do bring on clients. So in the past, I've made the mistake of doing it myself because I am a nutritionist and I know how to actually work with clients. But that takes so much time and effort and energy away from me actually focusing on the business back end of it. So the first thing I did, the first big decision I had to make was, who am I hiring to do that part? I interviewed, I had an amazing turnout, hired this guy, and he's awesome, and he's super bought in on the vision, and we were ready to go. Next, when it came to the actual figuring out the project and the back-end systems, I realized that there's a specific way I want the PDFs and the programs to be consumer friendly, done in a way that I've never seen before, but I know it's possible. Through research, found out it's done on an Adobe software that I have no idea what that is. So instead, what I did was I utilized my resources and I went to Upwork. In Upwork, you can hire anyone around the world at such a fair rate, because you got to remember the US dollar is very valuable in other countries. Maybe not in America, but in other countries it's really valuable. I had a meeting with him today. He's charging me $15 an hour, which is set minimum wage, for a very high level of skill, and he's helping me build out this template that I foresee and created and thoroughly explained to him how I want it to look. And we are now going to go through the process of figuring out and starting to build that. But I'm not doing it. I'm sitting here in my apartment. I'm with my dogs. There's Trainer. You probably saw Callie before. And now I can still focus on what's next. I can focus on the other little details. But immediately what I've discovered, and I'm proud of myself, that I've trained my mind to thoroughly think, who can do this? Who can get it done? Who's better at me than this? And I now have an executive assistant who executes on everything I give her. And she is absolutely amazing. She lives on the other side of the world, and she is so grateful for this opportunity because she knows that the businesses that I have are actually there to support people and change lives. And because of her work, she has a piece of that and feels a sense of fulfillment and pride and loves being challenged and learning new skills through the tasks and stuff I give her. And it's allowing me to buy back my time at a cheap dollar rate. So now the less I work, the more I make at an hour per basis, and I can also focus on, again, the next thing, the higher leverage opportunity. I can focus on the things that aren't the actual day-to-day operations. So the point of this video is to stress to you, stop asking how I'm gonna get it done, how I'm gonna get this done, and start asking who can get it done. And if that is not the ability because financially you can't afford the person to get it done, you gotta find someone who you can learn from. You cannot buy time, but you can buy people's mistakes. Learn from their mistakes. People are open and willing to help you for free. Connect, engage, have good intention. Try to provide them value. Help them in an area that they don't know about. And I'm telling you right now, it's gonna bring you so many steps ahead. But what you learn is you start to delegate responsibility, you delegate tasks, you tie an expectation to that task. They get bought in on it, they enjoy it, they're creative. You're giving them freedom to actually put their mind to work and feel a sense of pride, especially if your business is on a really set mission to help people or do whatever it does. But stop trying to do everything you yourself. You suck. But you're crazy enough to have a vision that most people will not have ever in their life. And if you firmly believe that and you're so overly optimistic that you believe it's possible and you start putting in the work and you have social proof that it's working, you will get a team of badass killers who don't want to take the risk, but will sure be behind you in line, ready to attack when you tell them. So start asking the question, who, not how, and learn how to delegate accordingly. So you can start saving your own time, your own sanity, and things can get done more faster, more efficient, and better. That's it. Not in my office, but I, for example, had a day today where I got a lot done. It wasn't me actually doing a lot of it, it was me delegating a lot of it, but I know it's getting done accordingly. Now I have time to make videos like this. I have time to relax, I have time to chill. Yeah, I was up early. Yeah, I got to work on it. Yes, I did everything I need to. I won my day. And it's not even 5 o'clock yet. That is how you get ahead. But it takes time, it takes patience, and slowly you'll chop at the wood, as I like to say, and your team now starts to build your enterprise and build more value. Develop it so it's more profitable. You're giving people more responsibility, more opportunity. And at the end, you will have a successful business that you don't even feel like you're a part of. And it's really weird, but you take all the risk. And big risk equals big reward. So remember that, especially if you're very new in business, it's gonna take a while to get to this point, but I promise you, it's worth it. There's no end. We're winning every step of the way, blissful to satisfaction. There's no failing, only learning. Now I'm done. Enjoy the rest of your day and start thinking who, not how, and delegate accordingly. I'll see you soon.